Welcome to the Newstrength Way, a podcast made for empowering people to become their strongest selves through movement, education, and connection.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the first episode of the Newstrength Way podcast for 2019. So today, Nathan and I are going to be going through basically what we feel most people do with New Year's resolutions and maybe a few things on some mistakes that we find there, and then how we can strategize to make the most out of that and actually hit your goals this year. So Nathan, you want to take us through what's something that we commonly find, or like what's the strategies that you see most people when they come up with New Year's resolutions will tell you about?
I think like a really common one starting off the new year, excitement and motivation and a desire for change is pretty high. So I think people come out with the best intentions obviously, but in that state when they're doing it, it's kind of like for lack of a better term, not the real world, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like they're super motivated, super passionate about whatever their goals are, which is good, and that can create momentum, but they need to realise that's not going to last.
The other thing is most people come off the back end of like a 2-week holiday where there's no real life stress, right?
Yeah, exactly. So the state they're in, unfortunately, it could be awesome to stay in that state, but it's probably, if you're expecting to, you're setting yourself up for failure. So when you do make those goals and stuff like that, it's totally fine to do them in that period of time because there is less stresses and sometimes you can have more clarity, but you also need to get a little bit clearer on what's realistic for your goal setting. Like what's the saying, people overestimate what they can do in a year but completely underestimate what they can do in 10.
Yeah, and it can even be going back to like a month versus a year.
Yeah. So
well.
I think people are really guilty of that, and I think the main thing people need to realise and where they go wrong is probably biting off more than they can chew, in a sense, when they're not adhering to these new year's resolutions where it's like, I'm going to have the perfect diet or I'm going to train 7 times a week, and they start to fall short of those things and they just chuck it away. Yep. And then they find themselves back at square one, where if they actually had a strategy where they go, I'm going to try and make better choices when I shop, and I'm going to try and go for a walk in the afternoons and do one gym session or something that's still heading in the right direction, and then they can build positive momentum off that. I think people do it backwards, where they try and go completely 100 miles an hour out of the gate of January, and then they end up going nowhere.
Yeah, essentially like people will spend January trying to train like professional athletes, and they're prepared to train like actually a normal person. Like they don't really have the fitness, or otherwise like you train super hard and the next day you're like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm so sore. I'm not gonna actually like I can't go to the gym today, I'm too sore, I can't do anything.
I think what like the thing with that is too that they're letting how they feel dictate what they do. So they're like super passionate, motivated, excited, it's a new year, they're going to make all these changes, but I think the most common thing is, with the best intentions unfortunately, like everyone has, but when they go back to work and they're tired and they're fatigued or whatever it is, or they're busy and the choices are harder to make, they're like, oh, it's too hard. I'm going to go back to doing what I was doing, and then 1 year goes by or 5 years go by and then nothing's changed. Where realistically, it's what we try and preach here at Newstrength, is like progressive momentum and positive momentum, and you build upon that. You don't have to change everything at once, you just need to be a little bit better. Yeah,
definitely. And I guess part of that as well is a lot of people don't have like an action plan to make things happen. It's like, I'm going to get fit this year and I'm going to be my fittest, and it's like, okay, well first of all, what does that look like?
Yeah, definitely.
Like they don't have like clarity on what that actually envisions. It's a broad, lofty goal that doesn't have any specifics about it. And then I guess on top of that, then it's like, all right, well, how are you going to get to that? And that's like, I'm just going to train. There's no plan on, okay, well, I'm going to train 3 days a week and I'm going to do this, this and this, and here's how I'm going to make this fit into my lifestyle as well. Like, I guess that's probably the missing piece there, is they go to, I'm going to train every single day, but then it's not pulling back from something else either. There's not going, all right, well, where do I find this hour from every day? It's like, oh, I'm not going to do as much overtime at work every day, or I'm going to get up early in the morning instead of staying up watching TV late at night and like 3 more episodes of Brooklyn Nine-Nine if it's me. Great show. But yeah, I feel like it's having an appropriate action plan, and I guess the other piece that we preach a lot is having someone to keep accountable to.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I think you hit the nail on the head there with the action plan. Like it's so common for someone to say they're going to achieve X but have no road to get there. It's just like, this is what I want, so it's just going to happen. And I don't think it's weird because it's super common in health and fitness to have to have a goal that you want to achieve, like whether it's losing 10 kilos or being the strongest you've ever been, but people for some reason don't put a plan in place. But you wouldn't say, I'm going to have $1 million by the end of the year, and go, what are you doing for it? Oh, I'm just still going to work at the same job. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, or you go to like uni and there's a curriculum for you to follow. Like if you want to be a psychologist, you have to follow the psychology course and tick these boxes to get there.
Yeah, for sure.
Like likewise, training, even though it's not as linear in being obviously like I did this class and I ticked off this test and that means that I'm a next step closer.
I think it's work, like it isn't and it is linear in a sense, like it's all work in the bank, so to say, and you're just trying to get as much work in as you can, quality work that you can sustain, and every session you do tick off is a step closer.
But I guess that's probably when it's coming from our perspective of like you've got to get up out of bed, do the work, and then continually do that. But a lot of times, like that's maybe not as tangible for people that are fresh to training and new to the process. A lot of the times it's like looking for the change on the scales immediately, and like I myself, like I've got a comp this weekend, and the first day that I started tracking, my weight went up and I was like, holy shit, like I've got 3 days to weigh in and it's going the wrong way, and it was all good the second day. But if I just looked at the first day and freaked out instead of just following the plan, then I would have been like not eating for the next 3 days preparing for the competition.
On that note, like I think there's so many good points addressed there. What do you feel as though are some of the things people need to put in place, or the qualities they need, or the disciplines they need, or structure, when you speak about structure that they need moving forward into the new year? So say someone's had these goals and then they can feel as though, week 3 of the year so far, they feel as though they're falling off the wagon now. Like what would you suggest for them, Jake, to put in place, or what should their focus be moving forward from where they are now, if they feel as though they're starting to lose the plot a little bit?
The first bit is probably accountability. Like that's probably the first thing. Like if you've got somebody to keep you turning up to the gym, whether it's a coach, whether it's your partner who's going to get up in the morning with you and make sure you're on your way to the gym, or they're going to train with you. Either way, whoever that person is for you, it's definitely an important part of the process. Like if you were a kid and you were going to school and there wasn't a teacher there, like, or your parents weren't sending you to school, would you have gone to school? Probably not.
Definitely
not. And then the second piece there is probably having someone who's been there before or has taken people through that path, like a mentor along the way. Like I know I've spoke about it before with a lot of people, is I didn't have a formal coach when I started training in the gym, but I did have a friend of a friend who basically took me under his wing and taught me a lot of stuff about training without actually, like, it was never in a paid sense, but he spent his time teaching me what to do, how to do it properly, mentoring me. And I think that's part of the reason why now, 12 years later or whatever it is, and I'm still training consistently. And I guess when you have that mentor, you don't want to let them down either. So there's kind of, that adds in another layer of accountability there. So that'd be the second thing. And I guess the third piece is just trying to create a bit more of that action plan about how you can fit it into your lifestyle. Like not having I'm not going to drink it all forever, when the whole past 6 months for you was drinking every weekend is not going to work, but going, well, maybe I can hold off and I'll go to the pub on this weekend because it's so-and-so's birthday. Like anything like that where you can build in the strategy to where you can kind of delay that gratification of still getting that, because it's not 99% of people with their goals don't need to be 100% perfect.
No.
Like if you're stepping on stage in a bodybuilding competition, probably need to be super strict for a while. Yeah,
it was I actually seen, shout out to D-Berg on his Instagram, he reshared something, and it was like, to put it simple without going into too much detail, it was like, would you rather be 80% on track or 100% perfect? And then when I read it, it was actually like it sparked my curiosity, and I was curious what the next thing was going to be. And it said always 80% as you want to live your lifestyle, 100% to prison.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's actually a really good way to look at it. Like, if you are trying to be 100% perfect with your nutrition, 100% perfect with your training, it is going to feel like a chore, and you're going to feel like it is like a prison for your lifestyle. But if you can be 80% with the nutrition, 80% like with your training, obviously it's goal orientated. If someone's trying to be an elite athlete, too bad, it's 100%, that's what you're doing. But if you're a general population trying to get fitter, stronger, faster, healthier, whatever it may be, the sustainable path is the one that gets results. And that's always the way it is.
Yeah, and that's where it probably comes up. Like, you see the fit people on Instagram and that sort of thing sharing their cheat meals, whatever, and then it's like it probably gets skewed a little bit. And it's like, oh, they get to eat that sort of food and still look good.
And Instagram's so dangerous for that, though.
Yeah.
Instagram's a shit place for fitness.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
There's some good stuff in there, but it's really bad. Like,
yeah.
It's just so skewed. It's like the highlight reel, and there's so much behind the scenes stuff going on, whether it's for that person or
Definitely.
Instagram's terrible for that.